The man comes excitedly to celebrate his wife's birthday, but sees that his daughter has erected a tombstone for his wife. He thinks this is another trick played by his wife's unreasonable tantrum and shouts for his wife to come out quickly. It's not until he is slapped hard by his younger sister-in-law that he realizes that he has killed his wife with his own hands. Only then does the man finally realize that his wife is really dead. He guiltily lies on his wife's tombstone and weeps bitterly. But at this time, it's too late to do anything. Because when his wife had a car accident, he was taking meticulous care of the scheming woman who pretended to be sick. And the real murderer who killed his wife is this woman. It turns out that just one day ago, in order to get the man, the scheming woman was so insane as to drive and try to run over the man's wife and daughter. The wife was knocked down to protect her daughter and immediately spat blood and lost consciousness. The little girl cried and begged the people around to save her mother, but inadvertently caught a glimpse of the driver wearing red high heels. At this time, the man who was buying ice cream saw and rushed over, but was stopped by the scheming woman who lied that she had a headache. Then she fainted in the man's arms. While not far away, the woman was struggling with her last breath and wanted to call out to her husband to save herself, but could only watch helplessly as her husband held the scheming woman and left without looking back. With the help of passers-by, the little girl sent her mother to the hospital for rescue. But an adult must sign for the operation. The little girl ran all over the hospital with the operation form and finally found her father and asked him to sign quickly. But her father was in a hurry to take care of the scheming woman. Without even looking at the operation form, he only told his daughter to go home and find her mother quickly. Then he closed the ward door without looking back. When the little girl was at a loss, her uncle arrived in time and signed. But in the end, because the best rescue time was missed, the woman had less than 3 hours to live and could only go home and wait for death quietly. She dragged her weak body and asked her daughter where her father was. The little girl helplessly said that her father was taking care of the scheming woman. Unexpectedly, the woman was so angry that she spat out a large mouthful of blood. The little girl was immediately frightened and cried and said that she would go and find her father. At this time, the man was feeding the scheming woman attentively. The scheming woman hypocritically asked the man to go back and accompany his wife, saying that she could take care of herself alone. The man thought the scheming woman was so kind and said that his wife didn't need company. He would definitely stay and take care of her tonight. Unexpectedly, the scheming woman deliberately spilled porridge on the man's clothes. While the man went to the bathroom to deal with it, the scheming woman quickly picked up his phone and deleted all the messages sent to him by his daughter. The scheming woman's actions were just seen by the man, but the scheming woman said it was just some junk messages. The man looked at his phone suspiciously, but was thrown into his arms by the scheming woman, pretending to be so pitiful. And all their actions were seen by the daughter who came in. The daughter said aggrievedly that her mother was sick at home, but you were with another woman. But the man said that he was just taking care of Auntie. The daughter shouted that mom needed your care more. Then she laughed angrily. The scheming woman hypocritically asked the man to go and chase his daughter quickly. But the man said that this must be another act of nonsense sent by his wife and there was no need to pay attention to it. Unexpectedly, the scheming woman suddenly got up and said she would go and chase. After she caught up with the little girl, she deliberately taunted and asked if her mother was about to die. And she said that she was not sick at all. She did this just to make her father stay and accompany her. When the man chased after, the scheming woman deliberately provoked the little girl. The little girl angrily pushed the woman down, but was scolded by her ignorant father and told her daughter to go back quickly. At the same time, the girl's mother finally lost her life with tears and left this world forever. At the funeral, the girl stood in front of her mother's tombstone crying. It was not until the funeral ended that the man arrived at the scene with flowers in his hand, but still pretended not to know what had happened. He even said that his wife should stop being unreasonable and come out quickly. The little girl's uncle beside could no longer endure and angrily punched the man. The man looked at his wife's tombstone and only then did he know that his wife had died. He said aggrievedly that because he had to take care of a friend, he didn't save his wife at that time. At this time, the scheming woman also arrived. She hypocritically shed a few tears and ran to the man and pretended to be sad. The little girl looked at this woman wearing red shoes and suddenly remembered the appearance of the driver when her mother had a car accident. She pointed at the scheming woman and said that the murderer who killed her mother was this woman. After investigating the surveillance video, the woman's evil deeds were finally exposed. The scheming woman shouted that she was wronged. But the man no longer believed the scheming woman's lies. He collapsed and pushed the scheming woman down and shouted angrily that it was you who killed my wife. And he begged his daughter for forgiveness. But the daughter directly pushed the man away and pointed at the scheming woman and said that your retribution has come. The scheming woman was taken away by the police. The man knelt in front of his daughter and apologized to her. Daddy knows he was wrong. Will you forgive Daddy? Daddy will always love you. But what the man could never have imagined was that the daughter actually took out a father-daughter relationship severance agreement and gave it to the man, saying that if you sign it, we will have no family relationship at all. The man looked at this agreement and was completely broken. He tore up the agreement and couldn't believe that his daughter would abandon him. In the face of such a father, do you think the daughter will forgive him?